Fix, if it's Coke, if it's just a regular race. This finish at Pocono was pretty awesome too. And I was pulling for Malik to get the win and get to the playoffs, but it was crazy how Guest held on to it. I'm pretty sure there were some different tire strategies on this
for sure
finish as well, but it's a testament to what iRacing's done with the next gen now, just because of how nuts the draft is and how you can run it really close to each other.
Again, so much there from Michael Guest. Wins his first race in his 106th start, but this is the one that topped them all. Jordi Lopez, Michael Conti back at Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway, coming through 3 and 4 here. And of course, Conti right here is just fighting for another win. He's looking to try and build up those points that maybe he would have needed to get to this position, but they lock doors, they stay lockstep, and just by a fraction of a nose, Jordi Lopez locks his way into the playoffs. As a rookie, didn't make his way to the championship four, but nevertheless, an incredible campaign for somebody who's been trying to get to this level for such a long time. But yes, Coca-Cola Move of the Race of the Year, Jordi Lopez.
Got to give Jordi a shout out, man. He's been trying to get into Coke for the last 2 or 3 years, and to get a win in his first season and make a late run is pretty awesome.
Team championship too, possibly.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Definitely.
Well, let's talk about it. Our next award, our final award, is the best paint scheme. I mean,
I don't see just one scheme here, though.
Yeah,
I see a lot.
There's a lot.
Shout out Rise
And we're gonna talk about them, but we gotta say the winner here is definitely Rise Esports and their designers at JDR Graphics and Splash and Go Graphics. Y'all are great. Like, just bringing the best. And of course, we have 36 paint schemes here covering the regional styles of every track we went to and celebrating some of the greatest drivers in the 75-year history of NASCAR. You got some favorites in there?
Oh yeah, I love the old school aspect. We saw a Gordon, we saw a Rusty Wallace, I think. That's what, maybe a Wood Brothers in there. What do you like, Raj? Jimmy Johnson?
Oh, Jimmy Johnson, yep, obviously the GOAT. But also, I saw the Ryan Newman Army throwback one. That was pretty special too.
I saw an Andy Santerre one, underrated, but I think that is one of my
They all say
favorite
Suncook.
ones.
How do you guys even know what Busch North is?
You got the young guys that can feel.
I know.
All right, well, let's talk about it because there's one driver we have not talked about tonight, Steven Wilson. And let's check in with what he had to say about the championship.
I think it's neat how they set up their area like their home.
After last year, I was hoping I would be sitting here. I had a really good year last year, so this year kind of wasn't as good, but we're back in the championship four, so that was the end goal, and obviously this year we hope the event here goes better than it did last time. With this race being different than the others, I think obviously it's a big mental challenge knowing that there will be a crowd in this one. Obviously the crowd this year is probably usually watching us, but not right in front of us live in the audience, so it's something that I'm used to with last year and how it went, so I'm prepared for that mentally, and I think the speed on the track is good, so I'm fully ready for what's going to happen here this year. My mental concentration definitely is, last year I think what cost me a good chance at the championship. I kind of just made a mental error on pit road, and that was the end of it, so I've been thinking about it since I made it back here this year, and I think my preparation leading up to now has been good, and I'm ready for what the challenges will be. My pre-race routine is usually just, when I'm at home, I usually just make my bed right before I get my camera going, and just kind of doing laps is really all I do. I usually don't do anything special. I wear the same pair of socks every race, which I didn't have last year, so I hope that's the luck I get this year. But yeah, my race routine is just to try to do laps and stay focused for the event. I think out of the 4 drivers that are here, I think Nick is the biggest challenge because he has so many poles on the year, so you know he's going to be starting up front. You're going to have to race him for that top spot at some point, so I think he's definitely the top dog. Plus he's usually good at these types of tracks, but the other 2 are great as well, so it'll definitely be a dogfight. I plan to manage my pre-race nerves and anxiety by just kind of taking in everything that's around me, really. Kind of not thinking of it as a race and as a business, but like thinking of it as a fun event that I'm here for to be a part of, and something that not everyone obviously gets to take part of in the series. There's only 4 of us, so just kind of take it all in and experience what I can while I'm here. winning the championship would be awesome. It's obviously everybody's goal in the series. It would be a dream come true, especially with my whole family who will be here at the event. So it'll be fun to celebrate with all those people and then get to have that trophy at home. I think with being here last year at the event, I think I will know the activities on the day of a little bit better than the rest. So I think I'll be better prepared for what to expect, and I'll know the environment, and nothing really should be able to faze me compared to what they might expect.
All right, there you got it. We got our final driver, and we got a little pig.
The good luck pig.
A little pig. I mean, that was definitely a standout last year here as well.
Oh, for sure.
I was a fan. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. We love to see it. And we also like to have more guests here. We have Connor. Hello.
Osabar's there.
Carson.
Carson. I'm so sorry, Carson. Thanks for joining us. NASCAR truck driver, obviously here. We're happy to have you at the desk. It was actually a surprise because you came out to enjoy the show. How is it being here live?
Oh, it's really cool. I mean, this place is obviously got a lot of life to it. A lot of people. I've never came here. It was last second. I've really good buddies with Casey at Victory Sim, and he's like, "Hey man, like you need to come out of this deal." And I was like, "Man, that sounds pretty fun and pretty cool." So it's been crazy to see how many people like that I know and people I raced online with for actually a few years now, and really cool just to see how alive this place is and how invested even just people in our sport are in tonight.
You're another one of those young drivers who have benefited from iRacing as you climb the ladder. You are killing it in the Cup Series, in these Legacy Motorsports. What has that journey been like from iRacing maybe helping you on the real world side? What's that been like for you personally?
It's been huge. I mean, you think about it, like the guys that play football, right? They can just go outside and throw a football. Racing, it's hard to go at 6 years old. You can't just go outside and get a race car and go test every single day, but you can get online and race, and that's about as close as you're going to get. But you learn real life lessons, especially at a young age. You learn side drafting now, like it's just getting so much more advanced that you learn the little things. You learn how to run the top, how to run the bottom, restarts, everything. So you could get up to speed pretty quickly, and that's why I think everybody's gotten so good nowadays, regardless if you're going to watch the Legend Cars race at Charlotte or going to watch on Sunday. Everywhere in between, everybody's gotten so good. There's so much resources down the line that you can get, just for a monthly subscription even. So it's been really cool. It's been helpful for me. I think without iRacing, I wouldn't be up to speed in everything. I would have had the learning lessons in racing. You don't get the opportunities. You don't get long to figure it out anymore unless you have a big pocketbook that you can afford to make those mistakes. So luckily for me, I was ahead of the game a little bit, or could get myself up to speed in a little bit of everything I've drove, and didn't have to have that financial pocketbook to take multiple years. I've been able to have a little bit of success, and I think a lot of that's because of iRacing, just doing it literally day in and day out, and annoying my parents because I'd keep them up all night because I'd be on there all night.
Well, it certainly worked out for you, but talking about your transition, there's been so much talk specifically about your career and the transition from the NASCAR Truck Series to jumping in the Cup Series and immediately running strong and having a significant impact. How has sim racing kind of played into that, or has it eased your transition between those two vehicles at all?
It's been huge. Obviously the Chevy simulator helps. I've been driving for Trackhouse for over a year and a half before I got to run my Spire Cup debut. So I mean, I got a lot of laps in the simulator. I know it's not iRacing, but it's still a simulator, right? And I've had the sim ever since I was about 13th, and just had a bunch of laps in it, and that was huge. The data's so close, you can almost teach yourself now. So if I didn't have sim racing and iRacing, I wouldn't be able to get in a Cup car and go right away and be as confident as I am in that car.
It's so great to just see your confidence, how you're explaining it. It's all to the sim. So you gotta love it. Carson, thank you so much. It was lovely meeting you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show and the race.
Yeah, it's awesome. Appreciate y'all having me on here last second, but I'm excited to see who's going to get this championship.
Big things coming, man.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you so much. All right, Alan Blake, we are getting closer to the race. The nerves? Do you think the nerves are kicking in? I feel like I'm getting some energy from the rigs or
Yeah.
where the drivers are.
It's
starting to
definitely
like
kicking
him
in,
more
and
and
it's
more.
something that, when talking to a couple of these guys, last
He's
year
throwing
got
at
here
people,
really
eh?
early, was able to talk
He
to
was
a
a
lot of these
bonehead.
drivers before they
I
hopped
didn't
in
like
for
him
practice.
before.
And they
Ooh,
were
look who's
somewhat
coming to the
relaxed and
desk.
somewhat laid back. But
Oh,
today,
Harvick.
seeing some of these guys walk
Where's
through the
Tony when
crowd,
you need him?
as they were taking just a little bit of a break. Again, they've been practicing all afternoon. Garrett Lowe, Tucker Minter. You can tell, these are guys, especially
think
Tucker
Harvick
Minter.
liked
He was here last year. He was mingling
sim
amongst
racing.
the crowd. He was a little tense,
Yeah,
at least
he
when I
sounded
saw
like
him a
Peter
little bit
was.
earlier. So the weight of the moment's definitely getting to these drivers.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
thought
they're
him and
getting
Truex
harder,
weren't
harder
fans
as
of
we
it.
get closer and closer to the race. And you know what? Who decided to join us on the desk? Hello, Kevin Harvick.
Hello.
Our Grand Marshal, one of our Grand Marshals for the night. You also have another
Mida.
very special person joining you for Grand Marshal.
Well, I just hope that Keelan can do as good as his sister did at Bristol. So I
No
know
pressure.
that I know that Piper practiced a lot. I don't think Keelan has practiced at all. So no pressure. And I'm a little bit worried too because Piper kind of propped me up at Bristol because she was so into everything. So. Hopefully Keelan carries
sure it's a
the
lot better
same
to get on the
enthusiasm
season than
that
to fly
his
out to
sister did,
Kentucky every
and we can
weekend.
do a good job.
What do you make of the evolution of iRacing that you've seen since
That
maybe
kid's
the
gonna
beginning
be a
of your
driver.
career
Both
until
his
now,
kids, I'm
especially
sure, are
the
gonna
young
be good
drivers like
drivers.
Carson Hocevar, who we just had, who are using sim more and more, teams using sim more and more as an elder statesman.
First brother,
of this
sister
sport. What do you
combo.
make of all that?
Well, I've been a big proponent of the simulator at our organization just because of the
curious
fact
if there's
that
gonna be overhype
you've
for
had so many
Brexit.
tools taken away from you as we've gone through the years, being able to go to the racetrack and do the testing and do the things that it takes in order to make your cars faster and communicate with your team. And I explain it to my guys now as it's more like an exercise. Even if your team doesn't believe in it, or whatever the scenario is at that particular track or whatever it is, it's still an exercise to go to the racetrack and have those racing conversations with your guys to be able to do the things that you do. So for us, as the 4 team goes, we use the simulator a lot. I go pretty much every week. I take the first session in the morning. I don't know if I'm the only one that wakes up that early. I know
I'm watching the
Ryan
high limit
Ryan
series
Priest wakes
in
up that
juniors
early, and if he doesn't,
in the
he's got a
push
little girl
trucks,
that'll wake him up.
pushing
now.
sprint cars.
And I know Eric will too. But so anyway, we go every Wednesday in the morning, and it's been a very useful tool at a lot of places for us. So I think it's all in how you approach things, and I think the evolution of sports in general, and I think the evolution of NASCAR racing and any kind of racing in general, there's just a constant evolution of getting better and things changing, and you have to keep up with it.
You definitely do, and Kevin, obviously you've been around Homestead Miami Speedway a lot. That's where these drivers are competing tonight. You even have a Storthouse Racing competitor here tonight. Go ahead and take us through Homestead Miami, what these drivers will be going through.
Well, Homestead is it's a very unique racetrack, and on the map it shows a 1.5 mile racetrack. Well, that's not fair because Homestead is just a racetrack that was originally flat from one side to the other, and they took the corners and they've made progressive banking with them, and since then Homestead has evolved into one of the coolest racetracks that you can drive. And I know I'm not very good on iRacing, and I get embarrassed anytime I get around Keelan or any of the Matt.
You guys in this race interested, iRacers Lounge is doing a live stream of the E-Coke Championship in their Discord channel.
But you can run from the bottom to the middle to the top, and you know, in the Cup cars, you know, that we race. You run right against the wall, and you know, I think you can move around a little bit more in iRacing and be able to have some more lanes a little lower on the racetrack. But it's just a really cool racetrack. The transitions in and out of the corner are much different than a normal 1.5 mile racetrack. They don't flow into the corner well. Ramps up really quick, and same thing up off the corner, because the straightaways are still there from the flat racetrack that it used to originally be.
You mentioned your son Keelan. How integral will sim racing be in his racing career? Because he's off and running already. How important will sim racing be to him?
Well, we have 2 sim rigs that sit in the house, and Keelan's on them every day. So, you know, I think the thing about it is, even with his legend car stuff, he can see the racetracks before he goes. They went to Las Vegas Motor Speedway last week with the legend cars, and he'd never been there. So they went to the bull ring for the first time, and he spent, you know, days on the simulator just to get the thing that I like about sim is you can get the surroundings and have just a visual of what you see and go to the racetrack, because I'm a big visual person. I want to see.
I think you just got your answer about
marks on
Harvick
the wall or
there,
speed
right?
bumps on the bottom of the racetrack, stuff that I can develop reference points for
Noah
points and
Gregson for the
turning
Pinty
points and
series.
things like that. So
But he uses it a
Was
lot.
that
They used it
announced?
for the New Hampshire road course before
Yeah.
they went up there a couple weeks ago. So he uses it
Or
a lot
Delaware.
with his
Great, he's
stuff.
coming back to Canada.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure.
Let me just say that we're in the NASCAR Hall of Fame right now. Kevin Harvick, you are ending your career. 3 years from now, you'll be back here in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
And you know, we've been working on a really cool display with the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So I won't spill the beans, but I know they've come and taken they've taken a lot of cars out of my shop. So
okay.
yeah, we're gonna have a fun display here soon.
Well earned. Congratulations
thank
on
you.
the career.
I appreciate it.
I feel like we're all just in awe with your career, but we're gonna keep you here because why not? Right? Why not?
Sounds good to me.
Right? You wanna stay here because we gotta talk about picks. And Kevin, let me just say it's been a hard season for picks. I have to say for myself. Let's take a look at a reminder where our points are right now.
Yeah, I mean, we get competitive here on the show. So every week we make winning picks. I happen to make the winning pick just about every single time, and I'm obliterating them. So you know what that's like. You know, when you go out and you dominate a race sometimes, and the competition is just sad, and they come up with all these excuses for...
We're right here!
Wait a second. Am I going to have to be the referee? I feel like that's what this is becoming. I'm going to be the referee. You guys make the
Bobby, where did you see that
picks,
thing on
and I'm going
Noah?
to be the referee and the trash talking. So.
All right, well, let's go with our first
Casey,
pick
what?
for who's taking the race.
All right. As far as
Hang
the
on.
champion that I think we're going to have here, I think it has played such a big part for this driver that he's had 41 days since he locked in to be able to practice.
it's on
and just
Facebook.
Focus and run on this race. I'm taking Garrett Lowe today. He's from Charlotte. He has a little bit of fans out here that we can hear out here. And Garrett has had 41 days to lock in, narrow in his focus on this racetrack. I think that experience and the amount of setup work they've been able to do is going to pay dividends. And we know it's not about the points, it's about picking the champion like I did last year, by the way. So
gosh.
I'm taking Garrett Lowe.
I love this.
I won.
It's fantastic.
I won picks last year. I'm just saying. Alan, you go ahead.
Yeah, well, I have Kevin Harvick sitting next to me, a man of vast experience, and that's what I'm going with. I'm going with experience tonight. Only one driver on this stage, Kevin, was here last year to go for the championship in this environment. His name is Steven Wilson. He drives for Stewart Haas Racing, and he's going to do it tonight. Came close last year at your track, Phoenix. He's going to do it this year at Homestead and get the championship. That's my championship pick. Like that?
I'm going with you.
There you go. All right.
I'm picking the home team.
All right.
So.
Of course.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with Nick Ottinger because, you know what, he's been a favorite of mine throughout last season and this season. So I really do hope he makes it through this time.
Not a bad pick. Not correct, but there are picks right there.
You know
Poor
what?
Tucker's feeling left out.
You know,
Yeah.
Good lord, that was an
I
odd
wish we
statement to
could
say
just
to her.
pick all of them.
Yeah.
But it's the producers that put us in this tough spot week after week. I do also want to point out, congratulations, Alan. I want to officially, egos aside for picks, congratulations on winning. You just beat my total pick points from last year.
Yeah. I smoked the competition.
Better watch out next
Let's be
year.
true.
Better watch out next year. But you know what? Let's talk about final thoughts as we get ready for the race that is just ahead. Kevin, why don't you start?
Well, the thing that I find interesting about
Hey, Mike, got the
this
t-shirt,
whole
thank you.
situation is how you take these four guys and you put them in the spotlight right here. And
I'm
to
gonna
me, that
switch
just
this
makes
thing
it
to push the
feel so
talk.
much different when you get out of your own environment and you have to do things a little bit differently.
Corey
than what you
Schneider
do every
retired.
week. I know that they would tell you that it
Yeah, I
doesn't
saw
matter
that.
and they can get locked in zone. I don't care. When those lights get turned on and they're shining in your face, it's different. And there's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of pride on the line. There's just so many things that are different. So to me, that's hard because of the fact that you're so far out of your element. Even when we race for the championship, at least I can climb into my car and I know exactly what my environment is going to be like. And I just feel like this is such an interesting situation because of the fact that your environment is so different.
Right, and I'll echo that in terms of the final thought for the race tonight. I do wonder how the three new drivers who haven't experienced it before will take it all in. They have cheering sections here. They have the bright lights. They have the different environment. That's why I'm leaning so much on experience and going into Homestead tonight because I think that will matter. It's such a different vibe.
I think it'll matter for sure. I think Tucker Minter had a little bit of a head start just being able to be here last year and know what to expect, but Steven Wilson being able to to drive. I'm interested to see how Nick Ottinger handles it. He's won a championship. He's won $100,000. You know the prestige that comes along with that. Will he be able to do it when he's not in the comfort of his own home? He's in front of hundreds of people and the lights are on. I guess we'll find out.
It's within reach, and I'm looking forward to this. All the drivers just giving it their all as everyone here in the NASCAR Hall of Fame watches on. Make some noise so everyone could hear you watching at home. You know, the community has really, and time again,
So what's Harvick, the Grand Master?
Really showed their love
Marshall,
for
yeah.
the sim,
Grand Marshal.
all the drivers, and honestly, I gotta show some love back. So congrats to everyone watching. We really appreciate all of your support throughout this season, and thank you all for joining us. Kevin, thank you so much. From us
Man,
here
if I was in the area, I would go to this thing live for sure. Looks like fun.
Stay tuned because the championship race
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
happens right after the driver parade. $100,000.
Yeah, that's
One of
that's
the
an
drivers
old
will
voice
be
from the
walking
past.
home with. Who's it going to be? Well, you guys
Is that
stay
Brett?
tuned.
I can't seem to hear you.
Hey, what's up, man?
How many days
Glad to see
in
you
your
again.
life do you remember forever?
Now, for the rest of you, if y'all don't know, Brad
You see,
Wren
here at the NASCAR
used to be
Hall of
on Team
Fame,
Tifosi
there's
for quite some time.
$100,000
And he's a heck of a driver,
on the
too.
line. This isn't
But then
just
you had to
another
leave
race.
iRacing for a bit.
It's a
and,
head-to-head
and I guess you're
final
back.
confrontation, winner-take-all battle royale. A night the
I don't know, you probably
world
didn't hear.
will remember forever.
Oh, there it is. I got you.
That was a fantastic intro.
Speaking of history,
Hair loud, yeah.
it really only repeats itself.
Yeah, just the hair.
every
We don't
so
need to
often.
really hear.
No
Just a
other
touch.
driver has won more than one, except for this guy.
Yeah, maybe a hair more. Hair.
That's what's at stake tonight.
What up, y'all?
The Audi boss of
Yo, who's that?
possible, or will one of these drivers
Just finished a truck race.
their name to the growing list
I don't know.
of champions?
Top 5 in the old iRacers Lounge Silverado.
Hold on tight,
Nice.
because tonight we're about to
It's that week. It's Talladega.
history.
I got wrecked out last night, but that's. I mean, I don't know. Justin, you think I ran good? Yeah.
I
And
gotta
then
make.
how about our boy David? I mean, he almost won last night. He got a PT. I watched
where
David
is-
almost win that race.
Where is David tonight? I thought he'd be here.
Football, isn't
Maybe.
it? He's probably got marching band. Oh no, it's Tuesday. Never. Yeah, he should be here.
I'm looking forward to NIS tomorrow night.
Me too. I wonder if I'm gonna make top split. So my I rating is like 3,400.
He freaking jumped crazy in the last 2 weeks.
Dude, that's awesome, Mike.
It's actually 1 week. In 7 days, I increased my I rating 970.
That's crazy.
Man, I was puffing out my chest when I gained 400 at Michigan. You just demolished that.
Mike, you need to get a straw hat and
Perfect
some
storm.
overalls. That way you could be the farmer.
Like I said, the
Short,
only problem
20-minute
is
race.
it can move him into splits real quickly that he might not want to be into.
Right.
Well, that's kind of what I went through last night. I was racing Garrett Maines and others.
It'll help you get points to beat Tom, but it'll be a lot harder to get those points.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking is I need to get to his level just to be capable of earning as many points as he does. But now I have to execute, yeah. But it can't be a better week to start this, at Talladega, at least for me.
Where is this Blake McCandless guy from? Or is he just part of the E series part?
I've been in a race with him and his brother.
Yeah, he has a brother who's into it. But I think his dad or his granddad used to be in NASCAR or some kind of racing. I think he's like comes from a family of racing.
Is he the other normal voice on the broadcast?
Yeah.
I haven't paid attention much this year.
He plays a big part in with Kligerman and Atlanta Castle and those guys when they do their stuff too.
Oh, that's where I recognize him from.
Yeah, I've raced with both of them during the heats this year. They're no joke.
I always love when they cover up the sponsorship of the laptops with stickers.
We're just thinking Steve Letart's got his laptop. He's going to be dangerous.
He's got the either it's a Mac or it's a normal Windows laptop.
Oh, Steve's definitely an Apple guy. Look at that collar.
Where's Dale?
Dale's got to be there today.
He's polishing the trophy.
Hey, you guys with the lounge, thanks for putting this thing up tonight. Appreciate it.
Hey, John. Welcome.
No problem. We had fun doing this last year. We thought it'd be better to have everybody in it this year.
Yeah, it's time to crack them open. BYOD, guys.
Just be careful what you say. You are on stream.
It's Greg's stream, so we're not too worried about it. But no,
it's also it's on the lounge.
Oh.
It's on all 4 places we normally put it.
That's what she said.
Giggity.
Wait, where's the 4th spot? Actually, on second thought, don't answer that on stream.
Okay, so everyone in this group, we call out before the race starts. Who do you think's gonna win it?
Wilson.
He's got the experience of being in this Final Four for sure.
Wilson.
I'm gonna call out Tucker Minter. Man, he's just hot. Hot.
I'll take Ottinger.
Yeah, I got Ottinger too.
It's so tough to pick because we know how this goes.
Boy, go out on a limb there, guys. There he is, Tucker Minter, man. He's our man.
Is this guy a
Remember,
rookie?
he won Daytona. Yeah, he's a rookie.
Wow.
And he has 3 wins this year.
And the last one, he beat him with like 60 lap older tires.
Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah, and I think he has momentum from that race.
What is the green egg? What is that sponsor?
That's a grill, isn't it?
Yeah, grill. A wood grill.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's I think it's like a ceramic. It's like a kiln kind of.
Gets real hot. Yeah. This is the local boy. I think he goes to school there in Charlotte. So he'll probably have the loudest crowd, I would guess. But I know Steven Wilson has his extended family there as well. I think Nick has a hand in how well William Byron's running lately. William has said as much.
Tested on the sim, it pays off on race day.
He's asking Nick for setups, is what he was saying.
Look at these Sims.
I know.
I look at the advertising.
Logitech's all over it.
One of these times I want to see someone race in VR for a championship.
I just want to see them use the Logitech, you know?
The direct drives has really changed because it was before it was all Logitechs over Fanatec stuff, and then when all of a sudden the direct drives came out, it looks like a lot of the guys went to the straight to direct drives from barely any force feedback.
I doubt you'll see the VR.
No, I know.
I'm going to be talking on the show this week about Fanatec. I think their business is very diminished from where it used to be, based on the last 3 years and the lack of a QR.
I don't know, Mike. They sold out of those QR2s yesterday.
Well, of course they did. They got all these people that have their stuff that are just dying out there. They just bought it up quick.
I think that.
Go ahead,
I
buddy.
can't recommend a new person to buy Fanatec.
I think they have a bigger market share than what you realized.
Oh, I'm sure they have a big market share.
But is it because of a previous footprint over what they're going to in the future? Like, yeah, they're going to keep the people because there's so many options out there now.
Better options, yeah.
Like I said on the show, I wouldn't look for a direct drive. Would be Fanatec might be the third or fourth option I'd be going to.
Agreed. Yeah, that's
and you never look at them for pedals anymore.
No.
Yeah, the pedals suck. My setup that I bought through Fanatec, obviously I got the CSL DD and V3 pedals, the H pattern. It worked. I liked it, but it is a stepping stone. I don't feel it's top end like some of these other setups. I can't wait to upgrade, but I'm gonna upgrade everything. I don't want anything else Fanatec anymore.
I just like all their wheel options back in the day, but they seem to even have less of those now.
Their wheel, like, I plan to keep my NASCAR wheel because it works well.
Oh, I love my NASCAR wheel.
That's what I use.
I mean,
It is the
even my
most
Formula
comfortable
wheel is
stock
great.
wheel. It's probably the most comfortable stock wheel I've had.
Oh, by far.
I
Once
just
you
wish-
get extenders.
Garrett Lowe's wearing gloves, like bright red gloves.
Bobby, was it you that put extenders on yours for the paddles?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
what I need to do.
and the buttons.
Yeah, that's
The
what I
buttons
need to
got
do.
extended out.
Back live from the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte. We are ready to go racing for $100,000. So let's hand things off to
Uh-oh.
Grand Marshal.
Still haven't seen Dale Jr.
Tony's gonna love this.
Dude, that 37 White House Apple car, man, that thing brings back some memories.
Drivers, start your engines!
That's cool. Keelan's going to be a NASCAR star someday, I'm sure.
Oh, no doubt.
I wonder if he gets into this series someday.
He's in it now. Well, not the series, but he does better than some of these guys on there. He's crazy.
Well, I was watching a pre-race before I jumped on Discord, and Kevin was saying they're using it to preview tracks before he goes to them in his Legends car.
It makes sense. At least they end at the proper track.
The best track to finish at.
Oh, come on. Give Phoenix some love.
Fuck Phoenix.
There is no love for Phoenix.
Phoenix was only good when they had a grass in the back straightaway.
I agree. If they would have kept the grass out there, it would have made it way better. But going 17 wide down the stretch to get the light, that's crazy.
You're right. They ruined that track. I remember back in the early 80s when I first went there. There's 150,000 people there. There were people all around the backstretch. They had stands the whole way around almost, except for the hill.
Michael Conti's last race.
Yeah, I sent him a tweet. Congratulations. Great career.
I still can't believe I used to be teammates with him back in the day when I first started.
Yeah. Would have followed him along, Greg, and just did what he did. And
to be honest, nobody on that team followed him along. So look at what we did. Nothing. That team's dissolved, anyways.
I hear Kyle trying to talk.
I'm sorry, I was on mute.
You have to take the mic out of your mouth. What's up, Kyle?
Oh, not much. Figured I'd join for a little bit.
Damn, Zach Novak way at the back of the pack, eh?
The top 20 race is going to be interesting. Who makes it to the top 20, who doesn't.
Well, could it be different this year too? Because like, I'm sure Michael Conti's in the top 20, so does it make the top 21?
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I don't know why, but I'm thinking about Ray Alfala for some reason.
I want to see what the points are. I'm going to have to look that up.
All right, I'm going Nick. I think he's going to win it.
Yeah, make your call, guys. Who you like?
That's who I said, Nick Ottinger.
That's not Wilson.
Mentor.
Oh, I like that guy in the back of the grid there. That's a heck of a haircut.
I was gonna say, it's the best mullet I've seen in years.
The stash too. He's got the Fu Manchu, isn't it?
I'm trying to grow my hair out, kind of like that, actually.
Jeez, Mike gets iRating and he's trying to get his friggin' haircut out.
It's like a new person. This is why I'm bald, because I'm so slow.
Or why?
I love this track.
I'm so
They're
glad
not waiting,
you.
are they?
We need to do like an over-under. Like, will we see netcode? Will we see a blinker?
Oh, the old Tony Stewart Home Depot paint job for that one car, eh? Is that the Sunoco car?
Yeah. Good paint scheme to run here. It's won quite a bit.
Over under 10 laps with the caution.
What'd you think of that? What'd you think of that shirt, Bobby?
It's a good one.
It's a pretty good quality shirt. Nice and soft.
Yeah, I like.
So I just saw the points, Mike. Keegan Leahy is the 20th place guy in points.
Yeah, he's got to be sweating bullets.
Zach Novak's 22nd. There's like between 303 points and 274 points. There's going to be a big battle for the top 20.
Where's Conte?
Looking here. Conti's 9th, so yeah, he would be the top 21. Is there anyone else, Mike, that this is their last race?
That's what I know of.
It's not Casey Kerwin. Was he done this season? No.
wonder how long before that changes with the top 20 points.
Yeah, you know what else was announced this week? Elliott Sadler Esports is done. Win the Coke Series. They're bowing out.
Are they really?
Yep.
Where there are 2 drivers of points.
I'm looking right now.
I liked Elliott Sadler.
31st and 32nd in points.
What's a charter worth?
Well, if it's worth anything, Spire will go pick it up right now.
Well, there you go. Look, Lowe and Ottinger, 24, 25th. I mean, damn. They need some track position.
Yeah, they definitely have to. Wilson's got an easy start to the race.
What'd they do? Change an engine?
Just horrible qualifying, I guess.
Well, now we know what set Byron's not going to use. Donnie's not in here, is he?
I haven't seen Donnie in a while.
Donnie's working, probably.
Not so much the case for Nick Ottinger, though. I think he's going to go up there and test the waters a little bit. And I think when you're this far back, you kind of have to almost take that approach, right? Just go where they're not, at least at this point, if you're trying to recover. Again, 100 laps, not a lot of time to try to overcome a track position deficit. You can see it's at least paid dividends early, started 30th on back. And again, Nick Ottinger was somebody who won 6 poles. He was the only driver that won multiple poles this season.
These cars do look awesome.
I think that's where this style of a championship, the pressure that comes from being
Gonna get tight.
They're going to have to find a way to get some track position.
They don't need to change the look of the car. They need a ride height rule to get these damn cars up off the ground.
And remove the diffuser.
Well,
Right, and you don't have any of that downforce from the bottom of the car. If they got rid of that, that alone might fix it.
When Junior was talking about to Justin Haley last week, they were talking about they have a tire that had more tread to it instead of being a slick, so that it would heat up more. That they tried.
Well, if you listen to Denny's podcast, he said multiple times that there's no downforce when you're behind anybody. They just made it even worse than what it was with the previous car.
I don't think there's any way to get out of it because IndyCar faces the same thing, but the only way to get around it in IndyCar is they draft really well, and the fact that they can make in-car adjustments that loosen the car and tighten it up in the race.
I still think you need to keep them from being sealed.
Oh yeah, the diffuser and stuff was just crazy on these cars.
Problem is, you never will.
Splitters and all that. Yep.
They screwed up with the tire size.
There's always a way to seal
too
it.
wide.
Yeah.
How much wider is the tire, Justin? It's like at least an inch, right?
It's pretty big. I saw a regular tire and the next gen tire at the NASCAR Hall of Fame when I went in April, and it is diameter wise, the tire is significantly bigger than the old one. It's just so weird because the profile's so much smaller.
Yeah,
I'm not talking diameter, but the width of it.
It is wider too. It's overall, it's the big brother to what they had.
That's the problem too. If they had kept the Gen 6 tire, and like Brad said, get it up off the ground, then they might have some.
It's too small of a tire, though.
It would have looked weird because it wouldn't have fit in that wheel well. And they also needed it. Then they would have had to change the brake package they put on because you couldn't get that brake in there.
Plus, it just makes more sense for the manufacturers to be at 18 inches.
Fuck, there's no cars nowadays that come lower than, what,
18's
17s?
small.
Yeah, 17 and 18s are small now.
Hell, my Camaro's got 20s from the factory.
My Jeep has 20s on it too.
So Nick has moved up to 16th, but Lowe is still back there. Ottinger's the only one moved.
I have a driver, Dylan Holt. He's currently 3 or 4 spots below that relegation line, so he's trying to have a great night to try to work his way in to be back next year. As we follow this 15 car, not much has changed up front. Donovan Strauss still leads Stephen Wilson by about 0.3 of a second, so still pretty close at first and second.
And you wonder, Blake, we talked about the fact that these races are short, 100 laps. I mean, it's a sprint. It's going to be difficult.
And Ottinger's up on that wheel.
To make some moves. It's not letting Nick Ottinger be deterred. Already up to the number 17 spot.
I'm sure he's using up his tires, though, getting up there. But you almost have to get that track position and then kind of hope for a yellow.
Yeah, you can't with 100 laps, there's only a 100 lap race, it comes by fast.
Well, how about that? I mean, these Coke races used to be longer, and they shortened them last year or two. And that's really changed the strategy of how you have to race because of these shorter races.
Damn, he got loose on exit there.
Yeah, he did.
Why did they shorten these races?
I think NASCAR was driving that, but I'm
Probably
not sure.
probably a specific window they wanted to fit the race in and never go over it.
They don't want it to be longer than one of their actual events or something.
Well, I think some of the races were actually longer than the truck races.
Yeah,
Right,
they
so
don't
that's
want
what
that.
I'm thinking.
So these are more like ARCA race length.
Because 100 laps, so that's going to be, if it runs green, it's 2 pit stops.
Well, Mike Conti still works at Junior Motorsports, I think. It's interesting, how you decide to retire from something like this when you're that good. I mean, it's not like he's still winning. He won this year, so I can kind of understand if, hey, I don't have it, I'm running 20th and 30th or whatever. But when you still got it, man, you have to walk away like that.
Is he married?
I don't know. He lost his mom last year, right?
I don't know. That video feed looked like it was about 12 years old.
I can't imagine the amount of time those guys have, and a lot of these guys will use the sim as a stepping stone. So if they're trying to do real racing, something's got to give.
So one of the stories on the show this week will be Garrett Lowe, who's in 18th. He got a permission slip to miss his college midterm exams for this race. He got the permission slip from Steve Phelps of NASCAR.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Vince Carter couldn't come play for our Raptors in the playoffs. He had to graduate. Fucking, these guys don't have heart. Sorry, that was a Canadian problem. My bad.
Anyway, it's pretty cool how NASCAR is really involved in this series, and it makes it, I don't know, more prestigious than if they weren't, I guess is a way to say it.
Is Steven the only guy running one monitor? The other guys were running triples?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that last year, too. I haven't gotten a good chance to see their equipment.
They were showing it earlier when they were doing the pre-race. I like that seat that he's in.
I wonder if we'll ever see somebody in the top 4 at the NASCAR Hall of Fame in a motion rig. Like I'm bringing my, full-on motion.
I wonder if there's any guys that actually race in the motion in this series.
There'd be a lot to move.
You think?
I can't imagine breaking mine down and taking it.
I wonder how these guys are actually second chassis and not their actual setup, just a replica of it.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah. We haven't heard any stories about that, but they did that last year for Bobby Zielinski, I think.
I would be very, because the problem is trying to get it all transported and get practice time. How would you practice while your thing's being transported?
You just get the day of to practice.
Wow, between last week and this week, they probably practice every day all week.
Yeah, I'm afraid to take my rig apart, thinking I won't be able to get it back together before the next NIS race.
Who drove the farthest?
I think they're all basically down in the area.
The one guy.
I was going to say that kind of makes it a little easier.
There's the one, was it Minters? That's the one that's close. He just goes to school like in Charlotte.
Yeah.
He just races from the janitor closet in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, look at what happened to Ottinger. He fell back to 19.
He run his tires out, and now he's gonna start falling back.
I think he was high as 17.
Something happened to Malik Ray. He's moved falling back too now.
Lowe hasn't made any progress.
Looks like Wilson's just biding his time, right?
You don't have to win. You just got to finish ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, there's real no incentive for him to race up there.
So if it's going green, what's the strategy? You cut it into 2 stops and pit at 33?
I would guess the guys in the back, they're going to do that. It depends on, I'm guessing Wilson will just follow whatever they do if they're the force there. He doesn't have to do anything first.
Wait until they jump and then go?
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Aren't you the expert on pit stops, Mike?
Ask Justin how he blew that last night. So I was leading the race, and it had only been a short run, and we weren't in a window. So I decided, we're going to stay out. I stayed out. Everyone else pitted. Like, literally no one else stayed out but me.
That's crazy. What happens if they all of a sudden had a big power loss at the studio, and all 4 of them got dropped out of the race?
That's an admin caution, wouldn't it?
Or the internet signal goes dead in the facility.
For that rare thunderstorm that comes through and they all start lagging out.
They obviously didn't have Xfinity if it went dead, because isn't that their slogan?
I don't know if they would have backup for something like this or not.
They'd have backup power, but they wouldn't have backup. Would they have backup?
Yes.
Internet?
Yes.
Ottinger's got a problem.
Yeah, he's fade.
They're likely on fiber.
Yeah, Wilson, it's looking good for him, but you still got to execute these pit strategies and make sure you don't screw it up like I often do.
Ottinger's in trouble.
He might as well pit now.
Right, we're coming up on the third way. If you're going to do it,
Yeah, but if you're dropping that much, you kind of force everybody else's hand.
well, he was on the high lane, and a lot of them were on the low lane. He probably ran his tires up.
Or it's probably the only thing is where his car feel comfortable right now. Maybe, who knows? But he just has no speed coming.
Well, like I said, he went hard. He got some track position, but he was hoping for a caution. It didn't happen.
Step aside right when they're about to have pit stops.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It's like a regular broadcast.
Yep.
Hey guys, how's your merch turning out that you've got now?
I love. I have some stuff arriving this weekend, but I've gotten some of it. But I got the giant mouse pad. It's so cool. And the jersey is super cool too.
Yeah, that jersey looks good. I think I'm gonna order that.
Yeah, it's nice quality.
Do we get any
I'm
statistics
gonna order a jersey.
Do we get any statistics on any of that stuff, Mike?
David does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely recommend the quality is high on everything. That's kind of we didn't know that before we actually picked them, but I think we lucked into the. Because one time, a long time ago, David had some shirts made up, some polos. He sent me one, and it was just like, it's like wearing tissue paper almost. It's the most thinnest, crappiest shirt you could think of, and it feels like sandpaper. And so, yeah, it wasn't like that. These are high quality.
Good. Well, I bought an iRacing T-shirt. It was just a Hanes T-shirt, and I thought, shit.
Me and David saw the jerseys at Daytona during January for the Rolex. They were pretty good quality for then.
Yeah, I mean it's been a good project to get that merchandise going, and David did a great job making it happen. Just because I got too many things on my plate, I can't handle it, and he did it quick. And then Bobby, you did a great job on the designs. I mean, everything looked great.
They do look awesome.
Thank you.
Well, on the jersey, it's got the smiley face things kind of down on my belly, and it kind of accentuates my beer belly, actually.
The sideways.
Mike, you got to model it for us. Do it on the show.
He did. He had a picture and he sent it to our chat. He said the exact same comment underneath the photo.
I laughed out loud when I read that.
That's great.
I showed my wife.
Mike,
so I gotta hold my stomach in or something.
Did you get one with your name on the back of it?
Yeah, the jersey comes with your name on it, and then your flag on the corner, your country flag.
And then I'm gonna get the jersey and just have your name literally wrote on the back.
Minters.
I got two of the hats, the flat bill and a regular hat.
Minters is moving up.
How are the hats, Mike?
I get those Saturdays, so I don't know.
I'm a huge hat guy, so I'll be awaiting your feedback on that.
Wow, Ottinger 28.
Why are they running this so long? Can they get to halfway?
I thought they said 2 stops.
I don't think they can go that far in this race.
They run it out, hoping for a caution, and then it'll be a stop and go near the end.
I always thought they did a 20-20 and then a 60.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, your talent on the racetrack, Hall of Fame career, in the virtual world, while it's a lot of the same skill sets, it's not exactly the same, right? You're using your hands, your eyes. You don't really have the feel of the car. I struggle. These guys make it look so easy. It is so difficult. So where would you rate yourself in the virtual world of driving?
I would rate it as retired. Every time I get on there, I have fun and I laugh, and because I'm so bad. And
so is Keelan better?
Keelan's way better. He's on there every day. He spends a lot of time with Matt Busa and those guys on there just making laps, and they've helped him a lot to just understand exactly what he needs to do and how to race. But that was the hard part for me is the fact that you have to use your eyes, and my eyes aren't that good. I'd always seat of my pants is always how I've raced, and just the feel of the car, and you get in there and you can't feel anything. And I think that's one thing in our race simulator that we use at Ford is just you can feel.
I can't believe they left Ottinger out there this long.
And you get used to the vision and making the decision with your eyes and your hands.
Right? Why not take a chance and short pit it, right? And then force their hand.
Yeah, you're not gonna beat him doing what you're doing now.
He's so
well.
far
We
behind.
know
The back two need to do something.
he was fast on a short run. We already saw that.
And they make it to halfway.
That's what it seems like that's the way they're driving it.
If that's the case, they should have made it at a longer rate.
Yeah, it should have been 120.
That comes out to some of Keelan's go-kart races when we're up in his neck of the woods and comes down and we've all become friends, and it's fun to watch him teach as Keelan goes through the iRacing days.
So take me into what these guys are expecting right here.
Maybe he's saving on purpose.
Assume they're going to pit one time right in the middle. Old tires at
Oh,
Miami.
they just set it right there.
Yeah.
The opportunity for mistakes. How hard would you rate this pit road entry versus the rest of the circuit?
I would rate this as top 3 hardest, just because of the banking. And I would say the banking and having worn out tires and trying to get the car stopped. I think that the hard part about coming off the banking here is pit road, and the entry was meant to come through the access road. And the
Matt Busa.
The apron is dead flat.
I didn't know he was from Illinois.
And the first thing it does is it wants to grab that splitter and pull the car to the left and not brake correctly.
Is that where you're from?
Chicago.
Yeah, I'm in Springfield.
Yeah, I think he was at the Chicago Street Race the whole weekend.
Keelan and I from
Kind of host.
2014 championship race. All Keelan wanted to do was sit up against the wall and throw rubber down the racetrack.
In fact, Matt Busa was selling tickets to the Chicago Street Race. He was trying to sell his tickets because he ended up with a free pass.
Is it odd that he's got the Harvick and Keelan on the side of the car, and he's Williams Esports, William Byron Esports?
Yeah, well, like I say, Matt's become one of our good friends, and I think he put.
Not really. They said it's a family friend.
I'll walk in there sometimes. I'm like, Matt, are you really playing hide and seek on iRacing with Keelan? And well, sometimes the kids get bored, and we just have to do something different. So sometimes
That 25 car looks evil.
I wonder if I'm not wasting Matt's.
He can't even enter the corner. Oh, caution.
It is fun to see him teach, and I think as I look at iRacing in general and everything
That blows all the strategy up.
Be able to see the racetracks. So whether it's in the Legend car, sometimes they'll drive F1 cars at random places, or whatever it is.
I think Ottinger's going to fire off now. There's going to be cautions, urgency.
Everything that they have and understanding everything that they do.
Well, wait, can they make it from here?
Well, they're at 47. And
yeah.
they're going to go
Might be like
pit in.
51.
Yeah, by the time they go green, it'll be at least halfway.
So are they going to be saving fuel?
Less to gain as well. So I was actually thinking, if you're Steven Wilson, you love the fact that now it's under yellow because now there's very little risk for you as long as you just don't do something silly on pit road. But now the rest of your competitors, all that were, spotting you 6, 7, 8 positions, they have very little to gain. I assume everyone's just going to take 4 tires. I think we got to look exactly what the yellow was.
Looks like that's the 7 car that we're jumping back with of Malik Ray, racing with the 4 of Ryan Luza, and not quite clear. That's the exit of turn number 2, and it sent that 7.
So you watching a different race?
Car incident. Nobody else involved. Looked like they were all able to avoid on the apron, so a relatively minor accident.
What did he say? I missed.
He had the wrong cars.
Yeah.
They were in the replay. He wasn't even looking at the right cars. Man, that Minters guy's just got some positions.
Yeah, he was what, 9th or something?
Yeah, it was 9th when the caution came out.
Well, you said low pressure, and I was thinking about it from a crew chief standpoint. Homestead, pit strategy.
This is way better under yellow.
Pretty straightforward.
I know what I'm
right?
doing here.
Yeah.
This is my kind of
And
spot.
you know how many tires you're going to put
That's
on the
right.
car as well.
That's right. There's not a lot to worry about. So 6 races left for you behind the wheel. Then you get to wear one of these headsets all the time. I'm not going to ask about the 6 races. I'll have enough chance to do that on Sundays from now until Phoenix. How about next year? Have you thought about what it's going to be like calling these races out the window, the races you drove in for so many years?
Well, I think the best part for me is I can critique people instead of being critiqued, and
it's way better.
It's way better.
Way better.
Yeah.
If I'm on the laptop, I just located outside.
Mindset of being
Nice here in Phoenix.
trying to make the car fast and trying to communicate with your team and all the things that come with that competitive mindset. Being able to let that go is going to be something that I don't even
What was that, Mike?
really know how to explain what it's going to feel like because it's
I just moved outside.
Oh, you're outside watching it.
This laptop is great. I love it.
Never really gone to a racetrack and enjoyed the race just because of the cars are fast, the cars are loud, the drivers are cool, and the cars are cool, and being able to watch that and see that, even when I do the Xfinity races, and just I sit up there sometimes and I watch the cars go around and I look.
So Brad, when are you gonna join back with Tifosi and run with us like the NIF?
Just let me know. Be happy to come back.
You're all right. Well, I'll hit you up with all the info. We'll get you added in.
All right, I appreciate it.
Hey, we're happy to have you, man. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a long 7 years.
So remind me, who was on the team back when you were on it? I don't remember.
It's Brad.
Brad Miller, he passed away.
Yeah.
Right.
Dave Smith.
Oh yeah. Jose.
Yep, Jose.
Carlos.
Yeah, those guys are still on iRacing, I see.
Yeah, they have their own team.
We usually race them in the Winter Series.
They actually got into a race last week at Texas, and Dave was in there, and I ended up selling all my stuff to his brother, Kyle, and he's still using my old wheel and everything else.
Kyle Fleischman?
Yeah. If
I was Minters, I'd do the exact same strategy you did in that first segment because he was coming forward.
But you can't let it take 40 laps again.
Well, he's got a lot of more positions now because his pit crew did a good job on pit road.
Now remember, the last start, they were 4 or 5 wide. We got a blinker. There they go.
Oh,
Everybody take a shot.
Oh. And the caution's out.
Yep, here we go.
Now, how many spots did Nick get?
That's Kerwin.
Giggity.
And it was a year ago, I have a couple cars in this series. I get to cover the series. I'm a fan of the series.
Uh-oh, it wasn't good that he blinked there.
Oh, is that the 10?
Is the 10 blinking? Or is it the signal?
He's
that
a Nova Scotia guy. He's from Nova Scotia.
What, Wilson?
No, the guy in the Smithfield car.
Yeah, Wilson.
That's Wilson.
Oh. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Dylan Duvall. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he's from Canada. Oh, NASCAR had that. They hit that button. That was premature.
So, do we have a director throwing cautions, or are these iRacing cautions?
I didn't hear anything saying it was iRacing. I would guess they'd have official today.
They didn't last week. Or last.
Again, fresh off of pit road, so no strategy decisions to be made, and the championship four can take a deep breath.
I kind of like if there wasn't a human involved, because it's more of equal, you know. There's no bias.
I don't know, Mike. Sometimes in the sim, it seems pretty shitty.
It's pretty biased to me. Whenever I need a caution, it never comes out.
Vested interest. How about William Byron joining us on the broadcast? You got your driver, Nick Ottinger, out there in your William Byron Esports Chevrolet. Welcome to the booth.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is I'm a little bit nervous. It's really a different feeling watching Nick compete here. And,
please wear the big hat. Please wear the big hat.
Just to piss off Tony. Just to piss off Tony.
I love it so much.
They're not going to show him on camera.
So, William, I want to ask you.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
We need to get Mike a big iRacing hat.
We should totally, yes.
Dude, those are so nasty, ugly. I saw Rick Hendrick in one of those big hats and about barf.
But it's the reason it's doing exactly why they're doing it, because it makes people talk about him.
That and the air conditioning system inside of it.
When you guys were talking about that, I didn't realize that that was actually true.
My job a lot of times is to go run the simulator for the team, help adjust the car, but I don't spend hours a week, working on setup. So these guys do a lot of times, and it's amazing what they do with it.
Now, back in the day, we used to have giant cowboy hats made out of foam. Those were cool.
All I can think of is Saturday Night Live when what's his name's making fun of Burt Reynolds.
It's been a good couple days. It's been busy, but just celebrating with the guys at Hendrick Motorsports, and big win for them. So it's it definitely makes Talladega the approach a lot different, and just allows me to go through the week a little bit.
Now, this is BS. So they extend the caution, I think, just so they can interview William Byron. They should be 2 to go by now.
It's odd to me that he's wearing an Under Armour shirt. I love Under Armour. Being from where I'm at, it's made in the city right next to me. But he's not representing Hendrick or his own team.
And these extra laps are putting them into the fuel window, so nobody will have to save fuel. Oh.
Now, does William Byron have an Under Armour deal? I think he might have Under Armour as a deal.
He does not.
No, he doesn't?
He does not. They're not in NASCAR at all.
I wear exclusive Under Armour almost.
Maybe he's not a. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe Hendrick doesn't want him to wear Hendrick stuff there.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be it. But it's just so odd to see him in just a regular sports shirt. I love Under Armour too. It's literally made in Baltimore. I'm right here.
And he has the iRacing hat. Like, you'd think he'd have his own branded hat.
Yeah. Mike Draftmaster is the Xfinity cars at Daytona.
Ottinger didn't make any spots up there.
Ooh, Steven Wilson didn't get going.
Back in the air, 45 laps left on the board. Once again, good start for the 51. He'll be clear for the lead. Good news for Steven Wilson. He's
17 is rim riding.
Yeah, I'm confused. What sponsorship is Dylan Duval?
Using that third lane, really getting it wound up. While it's more distance, you can see that it has some momentum down the backstretch, and it's 3 wide for, 3, 4, or 5 rows back here. Has most of the playoff.
Who's in that 36 Hall of Fame car?
That's a good-looking car.
I know, in that 36 is Brandon and Letarte entry. I was hoping he got clear there.
think you start to see this race play out, right? That we had that one caution, and this has kind of been the theme in this series. That one.
So Duvall's in the 41 car, Mike. It looks like it's going to be a green car.
That's why you see so many drivers who weren't willing to go to the top early. They want to get that track position now.
Mike, you might have been onto something. Mentor's sneaking his way up.
That's actually what I love when I cover these is I see some real
He's right behind Wilson, too. Oh, he blocked. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are just so
Ottinger lost 2.
Oh, that sucks. Come on, Nick.
Where's that short term speed we saw earlier?
That dirty air back there.
It's amazing what they do. Minter now to third, though, so now Steven Wilson has a championship.
I love how a guy like William Byron calls himself average compared to these guys in iRacing.
Not lying.
They held their own pretty well.
He is applying pressure to that 51 machine right now, and I'm just kind of watching the intervals, right? Minter's about 0.6 of a second off. When do you start thinking of the 10? Are you looking in front of you or behind you? And can you worry about Minter closing in? Is again, this is the closest we've seen the 10 to the race.
D-Box is sponsoring this part of the race.
I'm really all week long. I think you need to come here thinking you need to win the race. If you start racing one guy or two guy, now listen, in the last 5 laps or 8 laps, maybe I'll change that strategy. But with 41 laps to go, you can't worry about what the 33 is doing, William. If I'm the 10, I'm thinking if I win the race, I know the outcome.
Yeah. Well, I think as race car drivers, the best thing you can do is eyes.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to use up his tires here, trying to get the lead right here. He needs to save these tires.
The biggest thing is just he's got to think race lead here and try to get clean air.
Ottinger is like he can't do anything.
Wilson's pulling away from Minter.
Yeah, but his Minter's saving his tires for late in the run.
He's got the position now, so if he drives it like he did last time, it should be okay. As long as it's not a lot of caution. Is that a Miller Lite Dodge in behind Ottinger there?
Yeah, it's Rusty Wallace's.
It says brewery. I like that green on there, Bobby. That looks good.
Oh, I was talking about the image there, but that's an interesting colored or sponsored car there. Was that something brewery? What's the...
Read it. It looks like something brewery.
It's really tough because you try to give those guys extra room, but at the same time, if your car is fast, you pass them sometimes. So
good old Wendy's car.
We'll look at some of the other cars in the field here and have talked about Jimmy Mullet.
I'm still salty about all that shit with Noah Gragson. Every time I see Wendy's, I think of that.
Yeah, these pace schemes could be better.
Is Noah coming back?
He's been reinstated. He'll probably show up in either trucks or Xfinity next year somewhere.
Does he drive for a colleague? Problem is was Chevy involved in any of that stuff of getting rid of him? Because Chevy dropped Larson really quickly until they brought him back, I guess, then.
So was he really dropped?
Well, it was dropped enough where it made at least a show for them to make it look like they were concerned about what he did, right?
I think the Gregson deal had more to do with Toyota.
Well, they wanted probably Harrison in there as fast as they could.
Well, Gregson is a bit of an oddball anyway.
Hey, Bobby, can you do me a favor? Can you add Brad Wren to the lounge chat in Discord so he can get into that and the Tifosi Discord?
I know for you and Nick especially, it's not just a relationship where
yeah,
he's helping you.
Thanks, guys.
To help him kind of gain
So we don't use TeamSpeak anymore for racing. We use the Tifosi Discord. So
tire saving, tire management, and makes it tough. You know, I have a lot of short run speed, but it makes it tough.
Maybe that's where the difference comes from. I mean, Blake, we've been talking all week about the practice, right? These drivers setting up the rigs in the hotel to try to get acclimated, and then here for hours today practicing. I mean, these drivers can test as much as they want with those teams. Test drivers are a big factor, so it's not just the driver, the front man that goes into this. It's a whole operation with the team.
Yeah, it's a whole operation, and I've actually talked to a few of these guys that now found this real world career of connecting the virtual world to the real world, right? With you guys using the Chevrolet simulators and other simulators. Where do you stack up on all that? When I talk to someone like Harvick or some of the older drivers, they spend maybe some time in the sim, but not as much. As a younger driver who does a lot of iRacing, how easy is it to kind of go back and forth?
You know, like everyone really points to me as the guy who drives the most on the sim, and I do with the team. We definitely go in there and work on the setup. I'd say I'm in there 2 hours a week with them. And that's it, really. We kind of have a happy hour.
Their happy hour is different than my happy hour.
Go through spring changes and try to identify what our setup's going to be. So we use it organically every week, and you know we have a good system with Chevy to go and scale the tires post race as well. So actually, all the Chevy drivers go in there and post the tires after a race. So it's critical, and you know, Keegan works, I guess, for 2311. So
all right, Brad, DM me your Gmail address so I can add you to the Google Drive.
Well, and do you kind of see that trend somewhat continuing in the future where you have a Keegan Leahy who comes from a sim racing background, not necessarily a mixed background between real world and sim, that are going to be involved in creating speed for NASCAR Cup Series teams?
I do. I mean, I think that the time that it takes to be in that sim and perfect the tire is huge. So it definitely is. It's critical to our setups, and with not having the practice that we have now, it becomes that much more important.
And when I look at the skill set of these guys, if you need someone to go in and be very concise and specific and repetitious and do it over and over and over again, my inputs would be so far off you couldn't learn anything.
So Lowe is kind of sneaking up there. He's in top 10.
The thing I think is with sim drivers is matching laps on, you know, whether it's Pi data or whatever data we look at, it's matching the lap time, matching the inputs, how much throttle, and whoever can do that the best.
Stage breaks would have made this a little more interesting.
I'd love to have stages somehow, some way.
That's what I thought they did. I don't know why. I thought they split it up.
I don't know how you do stage breaks with half-distance races, though.
Amount of time. Now, granted, he had a month and a half after being locked in to this race, but that just goes to show you the amount of time. And I think you were right.
They really could have pushed this out to 120.
I know there's a lot of iRacers that look at this series, and it's hard to understand.
Well, we don't know. If they could have made it to halfway, they might have.
Yeah, honestly, for me, the nerves going into
They're only an hour into the broadcast. It could have been an hour 30. They could have done 120 probably easily.
Nervous all day. It's crazy.
As we see right here, Minter's falling back to fourth, and we see this a lot where I think he just doesn't quite have the.
Well, you say that, but what if it was like, 10 cautions right now?
Yeah, it's all hindsight's 2020, right?
I give it the eye test. When I look out, I don't need timing and scoring. When I see a group of cars, usually that lead car is the one that's lacking the pace, and right now that's what Minter. It doesn't look like his car's driving quite like he wants.
Caden Honeycutt was the one who was able to make the move up to third, so Tucker down to the number 4 spot. Garrett Lowe was just inside of the top 10 for the first time tonight. He's now back in P11, but still knocking on the door.
I don't think anyone has even talked about who's leading the race.
Inside of the top 5.
The 51s led every lap.
Inside of 30 to go. We're getting down to crunch time.
Inside of 30 to go. We got to let William go over there and get his arms warmed up to pick up.
And I guess that happens in real racing too. It's kind of awkward to win the last race of the season, huh?
I mean, Dale built the trophy now. That's no joke.
So it sounds like Dale's actually not going to be there because Byron's going to be doing it? Giving the trophy?
Wonder what happened to Dale.
Dale's at the High Limit Series, the dirt track.
Oh, he's racing tonight?
Oh, he's running a push truck. I was watching him earlier.
He's also on tour for his new book.
Damn Buster.
superstars coming here, I think, is just one more thing that sets this.
Yeah, him and Larson are there.
It is, but now we're here for this, right? This is the championship we want to see.
I think Kern.
25 to go. Minter finally kind of pried off the bottom.
Man, I'm nervous for Larson for the next 2 weeks.
Where at Kern Count?
Jump back to where that 25 machine is. It's a little bit of traffic.
I'll check my flow.
P26. He's certainly somebody who needs something to happen to shake.
So John Curley, tell me what you raced, man.
So, Mike, I mostly do the NASCAR series and ARCA. Play around a little bit with the Gen 4 car. But I'm an oval guy. I tried the road courses, but just not my bag.
What's your iRate?
Well, it just took a big nosedive, Mike. It's down to 15 something now.
Hey, Mike,
I got.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I got hammered in Texas, and whatever the track was before that, I was up about 2,000, and yeah, I was at 2,000 and took a dive.
Yeah, ask Justin about Bristol.
I hate it.
You never got past halfway? Was that what the deal?
Yeah, never did. And I led laps. That's what made me mad.
Bristol's got to be one of the craziest feelings in a race car to drive around that track at the speed it goes.
Out of 4 races, I screwed up when I spun out. Then 3 out of the 4, I was racing for second on the outside, and the second place guy washed up and slammed me in the wall. I was done.
I think Bristol's the only track that really tests me as a driver in VR, because it's such a hard thing to focus in VR with.
I'm sort of a noob at this. I've only been doing it for a year.
We all started somewhere.
Yeah,
John. Next time you run NIS, man, hit me up, and I'll get you into Discord with us, and you can just.
I'll do that.
We all get in there and talk to each other while we're in the race and talk
good.
strategy. Yeah,
that's what I need.
We'll tell you when to not pit or when to pit.
I have to warn you.
I'll tell you, remove some air pressure or something from your tire.
What I really need is to take about 30 years off my life so I'll have reflexes again.
We can't help you there.
We're waiting on that mod.
How old are you, John?
Be 63 in a week.
There's nothing wrong with that. I just turned 50.
Yeah. I started doing this back in the papyrus days.
Yep, same here.
And then when I had kids, I had to quit for a few years. So during, last year, my oldest one at Whiteman Air Force Base told me, says, Dad, you got to try this thing called iRacing. You should get back into it. So that's what I did. And now I'm addicted.
Hell yeah.
That's
Good
the
for
worst
you, man.
part. Once you admit the addiction.
Wait till you start winning races, then you don't know what addiction is.
Ottinger's moved up to 19th.
Ooh.
Here he comes. Can't call a comeback without a comeback.
Yeah, he's got 18 laps to go.
He needs a positional lap.
He needs a caution to bunch the field back up.
He's gonna need a few cautions.
I was being nice, Bobby.
This caution's in second place.
This race is sizzled out. I don't feel the fireworks and activity and all the carnage and.
Well, Wilson's kind of basically run away with it so far.
Well,
he's had like the easy
leader has.
He's had like a Sunday drive.
Well, that's it. This race is a poster child for stage breaks.
Mm-hmm. It's been a sleeper.
It's also a poster child for what some of the tracks have been like in NASCAR this year.
It's this car, man.
The problem with the sim racing is their setups. These guys are so close to each other. There's just nothing once they know how to save tires and everything. They run the same lap times.
Had the same problem with the Gen 4 car. One guy would dominate, and that'd be it.
Look, unless there's a caution, Wilson's got it. Because Minter's fading. He was 6, now he's 7.
I wonder if Ottinger gets up to Minter's at some point here, the way it's going.
Well, if there's a caution, Wilson's got a big question mark.
Everyone's going to pit, but you just can't make a mistake.
So Donovan Strauss is leading. Is that the guy who was leading before? I don't think it was. I thought it was Michael Cozy Jr.
It was the 51.
Yeah, Strauss has been leading the whole race.
Oh, is it Strauss? Okay.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll ever put. Do they have an esports display at the Hall of Fame for like drivers in it? Like if they ever made do you think they'll ever have a Hall of Fame in there for them?
They had what's his name from last year? They have a bunch of cars. They have, I think it's like 8 or 10 actual cars, and then they have sim setups inside them. It's very low key. It's a shitty screen. The car is cut in half so you can get a passenger and a driver. It's kind of cool how they have it set up, but my rig here at home is got a couple grand over the ones that they got there. But they did have a pretty big iRacing presence.
Different audiences. They're not gearing it towards the hardcore sim racer. They're gearing it towards the average fan.
I'd love to go there. Whatever Ottinger did on that last pit stop, his car came alive.
Okay, Brad, you're going to send me your Gmail, right?
Yeah, I did. What do you want me to send it? I did it through Discord. Do you want me to do it through Facebook?
Yeah, I do it in the Facebook. That's where I manage this team.
Okay.
We only do Discord for audio, right?
Gotcha.
If I'm Minter, I'm screaming about debris.
Like I said, he's going to back up all the way to Ottinger.
Oh, I'd be screaming on the radio right now.
Now, John, I sent you a DM in Discord with a link to our team Discord chat for when we race.
I just hit it. Yeah, I'd like to watch you guys race, learn some things. I need to.
Yeah, so you're welcome. We'll be in there tomorrow night.
All right, good. I'll watch because I want to learn. I'm at that point where, it's fun, but I want to learn this stuff and get better.
Sure. So show.
Hey, Mike, do we get to decide who the Road King is for this next week?
We'll see who finishes highest. What's next week? I have no.
It's the Roval. It's the last road course of the year.
I keep forgetting I won a road course this year.
I would watch Mike's car. He's Mr. Speedway.
Problem is the next gen car is such a really Talladega is at least the better track to race the next gen car out for the drafting racing. At least
Also,
for
Sean,
lanes.
I might be in top split. If not, I'll be in second split.
They need to rescan Daytona.
Again?
Dude, the tracks changed so much.
I'm interested to see how much, say, 3 years down the road Atlanta's going to be.
Tires matter now at Daytona.
I think you, David, and I will be in a split tomorrow.
Why is the 33
cool.
bumping into people?
Caution. Needs a yellow.
Is that the NIS race you guys are doing tomorrow?
Yeah. NIS Open.
I'll tune in. I may try to get in it, but if not, I'll watch you guys.
He needs a yellow.
He's gonna create the yellow.
That's fine. It's not like they send you to the back.
Oh, it's Honeycutt. That's who he's racing real hard.
So, Brad, I added you to Google Drive. It's kind of like it was before. It's paints and setups and stuff like that.
Okay.
And now I'm going to do the Google Doc, where that's where we have you write down your results, so we can talk about your results on the show. So we just want you to write down your finishes in the doc.
Oh, he cut him. Oh! That was so close. Ottinger stalled out.
And Lowe took a dump.
None of these guys wants to be the caution or cause a caution and fuck up somebody's championship, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, does the 10 go for the try and get for the win, or is he just gonna just finish it here?
I wouldn't.
Just ride it out.
If I was him, I wouldn't. Yeah, right.
Yep.
If that guy makes a mistake, sure. You know.
You got a guaranteed check.
You look pretty dumb over driving the corner now.
Got a massive lead over Vince.
Uh-huh.
He's closing in on that 51, though.
There's Grandma and Mom.
Yeah, they're about to shit their pants.
He won how much playing a video game?
Look, praying. She's actually praying.
She's praying that they don't get the NASCAR Phantom caution.
She's praying for no caution. That's what she's praying. They're almost there. They're almost to the white. She's pray for it. Pray for it. The prayer works, I'm telling you. That woman knows.
It's a bit late for her, isn't it?
Well, they're going to get ice cream after this.
One to go.
She gonna need a coffee.
It's past her
She
bedtime.
did it. Her prayer worked. Look at that.
Oh, he's
He
double
did it.
100 grand.
I swear he was trying to win it here by getting close to the leader.
Wow.
Donovan Strauss, that's nice to see him win. Let's give him some props. He had a great race.
That'll be the only time he's talked about.
What a crappy race to be your first win.
Wow.
Duracell had the power to go the whole way.
He was second place the whole race.
The second isn't the first loser.
Well, now everybody's going to say you need single monitors instead of triples.
Yeah, I'm trading my triples in.
Yeah.
Not happening.
VR for the win. I made it for the last lap.
I'm getting a green pig.
I don't know about ultra wides.
That's not an ultra wide there, is it?
No. We talked about it on the show.
I think
That big
27-inch is about the best.
That Samsung, huge one you guys had on the show last week, man.
So we're done just in time for Dega in like 10 minutes.
I got wrecked out last night in top split against Garrett Maines and these guys. I was mixing it up with the big boys and leading laps and everything.
Oh,
and I got wrecked
they
in
ran
a
into each
check-in.
other.
I'm in Dega now. How you fixed?
Poor Winner hasn't got any screen time.
That's a cool burnout.
Yeah, that is.
Gotta get on TV somehow.
All right, I'm staying in here, but running Dega.
Lead every lap and don't even get on TV.
His dad.
Celebrate. That must be his girlfriend or his wife.
You all laughed at me when I said I could win money in this.
Hugs. Oh, hugs. Now hug Tucker Minter. Oh, he hugged Casey Kerwin. Is that who that was?
Yeah, but look at the burnout rate.
Right. That's what I was talking about. Look at Conti. I mean, young man. He's still very competitive, and he's bowing out.
Grandma won't
There's
let him
Nick.
go.
Oh, Gum Gum's giving him a long one, ain't she?
Was Nick Ottinger the one that won the championship in COVID time?
Yeah, he won at Homestead in on a late caution. He drove up through there. Like he got tires and a bunch of them didn't, and then he just picked them off like candy. He got like 15 or 20 spots in like 2 or 3 laps or something.
Man, I could have been a gamer, and instead I had to go to law school. What a waste.
I don't know, because how much fun is it when it's a job?
True.
There's Rajah Caruth giving him congrats. I told you today he doesn't have a job, but
That's still better than
He
a
was,
lot of jobs.
that was awkward. He's gonna fist pump William.
He doesn't know what to do.
yeah,
Look
he
at
looks
that.
a little overwhelmed.
Look at
He's
that.
not
2
breathing.
champions on the stage. One's a future champion.
Aww.
Man, that trophy is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Falls apart. Yeah, don't even bother.
Don't
3
ever,
M should sponsor it next year.
don't ever let William Byron lift up the what is it? The one from Daytona, the Earl.
The Earl Grey.
I was gonna say Earl Grey. I don't know why.
Earl. Harley Earl.
Ollie
It's got
Earl.
a picture of Jean-Luc Picard on it.
My bad, boys.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Does nobody have 2-sided tape?
Like I said, 3 M needs to step up.
Oh, he dropped it again.
They did it again.
You
I
can
want
tell.
one
You
of
can,
those hats.
you can tell Byron's a gamer. He's so nerdy.
He fits in.
Tony's probably puking right now. Right, Barry on the screen.
The only, the only thing that we were talking about earlier that would have made it better is if there was a big hat involved.
I just need to make that the trophy next year.
So am I the only
it'll
one that
stay
picked
together.
Wilson to win?
I picked them. I didn't realize where they qualified because that would have been an easier pick too, knowing where they qualified.
I don't get how all the other races were such carnage and this was just all clean and nobody passed nobody and.
It's at drivers' meetings.
So few people are in the running that everybody else is like, I don't want to be the guy that messes it up.
Right. And it just totally neutered the competition, really.
I want to see if the championship changed for the 20th position round.
By the way, order merch.
Oh, all mine's been shipped.
Yeah, like you and I are the only teammates who have ordered.
I'm gonna order a jersey, but I'm waiting to hear from Mike now about the hat since he bought 2.
Yeah, I get my stuff. I think Saturday.
I bought the bean, kind of short beanie.
It's so expensive in the Canadian when you have to pay in Canadian.
I like the hoodie. I think I'm going to get that for the fall.
The one with the 400?
No, it's the one like on the top row over on the right.
I don't have that memorized.
Oh. Let's see.
Well, there's only 2 hoodies.
One of them is a zip up because that's the one I'm going to get because I like zip up hoodie.
He adds his name to the growing list, and that is now 5 straight seasons with a first-time champion. Of course, in all of this, more history. Donovan Strauss adds his
It's the iRacers lounge hoodie.
Donovan Strauss again, a winner for the first time. I don't want that to get
Just the regular logo.
Yeah, it just says iRacers Lounge Podcast. I like the design.
Not only to get your first eNascar win on such a big night, but also to contribute to the performance tonight as well.
Now, John, on that website where you're looking at the top, there's a picture of my race car.
Oh.
And
will you just take that one and put it on the website? Because I never got a good screenshot. But that one, other than the ugly lime green, is okay.
Yeah, that's what that's Bobby designed that.
I was just going to ask you who did that, man.
Yeah, and you see the background and everything. So anyway, I have that printed on wood in my office.
I've heard you talk about that on the show. That's got to be.
So that's what it looks like.
Oh, that is nice.
You heard him talking about his wood on the show? Yeah, we've all heard about him talking about his wood on the show.
That's what happens when he wins. When he wins, that's what happens. I have to tell you, that picture looks like an actual car.
Let's just continue to watch party with me running at Dega.
I don't know, Bobby. You can probably tell him more about how you made that.
I have 20 laps left in mine.
What's a rendered image? It's not.
You should be streaming here in Discord.
What do you use, like Adobe Illustrator?
The design is, but the rendering is done in 3ds Max.
You do that sort of thing for a living? I mean, that's pretty good.
No, I mean, I've designed a few of the race cars you see on real NASCAR, but no, that's not what I do for a living.
He probably could if someone would hire him to do it.
Yeah, he could.
He has my vote, but he also pays me.
Paid vote.
I pay an American, it's cheaper.
I knew there was some fine print in my clause.
I buy one. At least when it was Stanley Cup, you can get paid in Canadian.
Well, I'm screwed.
well done. So well done. Talk about this whole day. I know
Mike,
it's
should
been
I
a great
stop
year.
the
Talk
stream?
about this opportunity to race here at the Hall of Fame in front of a live
Well, I thought we were
audience.
going to look for the top 20. I was still kind of waiting for that.
I'll let it go until then.
Today was definitely way different than what we are normally used to. Just getting up earlier, loading in, and getting everything set up, trying to get comfortable. Then just kind of.
How much longer the top 20 thing will last?
Would you say it's probably going to be money driven eventually? Like it'll just keep who they want?
Oh, it's gonna have to be. I mean, if you're getting real teams more and more involved, it'll move to that point.
Well, I wonder if that's why Elliott Sadler's moving it out. Like he had two guys that just didn't compete very well this year. It looks like.
I mean, you're probably right. I don't want to see it though. The relegation needs to stay a part of the factor.
Do you guys still race with Elliott Sadler's guys much anymore?
They're not on. They're never on anymore.
Yeah, because like we were talking about that they're pulling out of this series.
People on NASCAR and the teams involved. That's what's gonna happen with money.
Does Legacy have a esports team?
No.
I wonder if they get involved.
I mean, Elliott's also really don't iRace anymore either. He's doing more real life stuff.
Well, he does stuff with his son, doesn't he? Baseball a lot.
Yeah, he coaches a travel team. So I'm the 10 car. I got one bad guy in here and one yellow guy.
So, guys, I'm on iRacing, the Talladega race. I want to watch David. So, how do I know which one to pick? Is there a rule of thumb?
Say what?
So, if I want to watch your race, there's 4 races going at Dega right now.
I
was
think
wondering.
David will be top split.
It's
Top
probably
split.
top split. Yeah, the highest I rating is 4854, so it's probably top split. But it's also a really wide split. It's like 4,800 to 300, 3,000. But I'm also streaming it right here on Discord.
So, if you go on the old website instead of the beta UI, and you hit the ghost menu there in the menus, the ghost page, you can hover over the helmet and see what names are in the race before you decide to pick which one to ghost.
All right.
But a compressive season to get to this opportunity, and we appreciate covering
It's like the second or third menu over, and you go down a little and hit go.
Okay.
Thanks, Garrett, for joining us again. Congratulations on a great 2023 campaign.
Yeah, I need to learn some things here.
I think celebrating deservingly a very good 2023 campaign, guys. We'll catch up.
I got so close to winning yesterday.
We talked about the way that these 4
That
different
was
drivers
close.
kind of interacted with their experience and prior championships and all that, Blake. And I think all of them.
But yeah, you can hang out in here because I'm not going to move for this race since we already got the party going. And
I don't know how you do the VR thing. I would get sick
love
as... I have issues with vertigo, so I can't do that.
That just means you're more evolved to protect yourself from like poisonous mushrooms and shit. That's what that gene is.
David, what's that flight sim that you're in?
Digital Combat Simulator.
Okay.
It has free modules. Like the software, it comes with several free planes. Because I tried it out for like a month and a half before I bought a module.
And you use VR in that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, turn this up, Greg. Let's hear what he said.
Par for the course, I went to the top side, about a half a tenth to a tenth better, running the top side and just went in there, just had no grip and slid to the wall, and just had to kind of back out and run,
You hit the-
a lap. So, at the end of the day, Steven and that team deserved to win. They started up front, managed their pace, and
We didn't see it,
unfortunately,
but
I had
that's
to
what
play
happened. He hit-
odds,
Relay it to me.
Push early, hope for a caution, and then it just didn't come and just fell to the back. So, wasn't for a lack of effort for our 25 Logitech G team, but at the end of the day, the right team won and the right driver won. So.
Well, and Nick, I wanted to ask you the difference between winning that championship in 2020. How much different of an experience was
All
it?
right,
to
I'm gonna
being at
step
home,
off.
being
I
able
gotta
to
run my
execute
dog out.
and
He's
take home the
yapping here.
championship in that race versus what it was like.
Yeah.
Don, maybe
at
I'll see
State
you tomorrow
with the
night.
crowd we had tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to tune in. Thanks, guys, for doing this. Appreciate it.
Next to my ear, I'm like,
Yeah,
I can
no
hear
problem.
everything going on.
Thanks.
I can hear
Thanks for
everything
coming,
going on,
everybody.
and every pass going on.
Yeah, this was fun,
you
y'all.
guys talking,
Yep.
and it's fun.
See you guys tomorrow night.
2020 was obviously more comfortable, but here it felt comfortable too because you're just laser focused towards your goal, with you and your team, and we finished third in the standings, but we're coming strong at the end. I think we got the 13th and just ran out of